And with that, the new Egoist League has come to an end. What's up, guys? That guy with a pencil here. Fun fact, I do been to have it on me and keep it on me at all times. Here's another fun fact. I'll admit, I was gonna wait for better translations. I typically actually don't like Ragnarok translations because they're actually pretty often wrong. Like, I've done reviews with them before and like missed entire differently things because of context and characters. I don't know. Officials are taking a hot minute, especially considering like we were on break last week. I was definitely expecting like officials to come out even quicker, but no, I'm not stuck with this. And like I could wait another day, but I'm quite impatient, and I keep like barely seeing spoilers on this chapter. They keep dancing around me just as much. And I'm like, I can't wait, or else I will literally just get spoiled on the entire chapter before I actually get to see it. So here we are with chapter 301, Parade. This is gonna be interesting now. I mean, I'm guessing it's probably just like the celebration parade, because I've seen that before, right? Like, specifically, at least currently at the time of recording, the NBA finals are going on, and I know typically once a team wins that, or the playoffs, and then at least the finals, once a team wins the finals, typically they get a parade. So I'm assuming it's going to be like, but it can't just be BM, right? Maybe it's going to be like the whole team getting a little parade for them celebrating the new Egoist League itself, because it was a pretty big thing. It was like it was an international event, essentially. And seeing that come to an end probably does deserve a parade of its own. So let's see what's about to go down. Let's not waste any more time. Let's hop right in chapter 3. Oh, wait. See, that's what happens when you're on break. You forget, but oh, that was beautiful. Peak every week. You know I got a pre-draw. And man, that's rough, y'all. I don't know. I'll think about it. The thing is, PXG versus BM ended and was peak from cover to cover. So that guy with the pencil doesn't have to become canon. Or not, no, I hope I'm canon. But that guy with the kitchen doesn't have to become canon. But maybe I'll make a cooking video. The only thing is, admittedly, I branch out for my own typical type of content all the time, and I literally am thinking of other channels to make, and I have like scripts written and stuff like that. But like a cooking video, that would be such a one-off thing. I have no idea like how that would do. But let's not waste more time. Let's hop right in chapter 301, Parade. All right, interesting how Noah's so calm. He's like, seems legit. It's just about to. Well, then again, I guess that's the thing, right? And Loki, he even seems relatively chill, even with his loss and stuff like that. Chris is smiling, Lavahino's smiling. Because that's the thing, right? This was just fun for them. They had no real... I mean, obviously, I guess it speaks somewhat to their, like, coaching qualifications. But outside of Snuffy, it doesn't really matter. Because Snuffy was... But even then, not even anymore, because Snuffy's not retiring. And it's not like Snuffy's team did bad or anything. They didn't lose all their matches on, like, a certain somebody. So, like... Generally speaking, none of this mattered for them. So I guess they are relatively chill about it, because it didn't really mean anything, at least not for them. It truly was a lot more for the U20 team in Japan. Interesting though, Charles does actually seem a little bit, well, as much as I can read from hitting this, but like he does seem a little bit disappointed, and I do like that. Once again, Charles is a character who I'm excited to see in the future, mainly for how he develops and what he's going to be playing with. Once again, it's a hot debate, at least currently in the community, on whether or not Loki himself will end up participating in the U20 World Cup. I'm kind of leaning towards him not, because he already plays for the national team. I wouldn't be shocked if he was in the World Cup. But at the same time, he does work as a really good final boss. And once again, if you're in me, because I've seen a lot of people, especially I've been bringing it up more and more, and it's like how people do agree, it almost smells like Blue Lock is digi-destined to lose, or not smells like. It is really just straight headcanon and copium. But it does seem highly likely that the Blue Lock, well, not Blue Lock 11, the Blue Lock 23 could actually end up losing the U20 World Cup, only to go on a club training arc or maybe an off-screen training arc and come back for the actual World Cup and then win that, and then, beat Noel Noah and stuff like that. So Loki would be a good final boss for the hypothetical U20 World Cup, and he does qualify. So, like, it does work. But at the same time, I feel like we don't burn him that soon. I don't know. It really is debatable. But Charles, undeniably, we're going to see him. Whether he's going to be like a direct obstacle for Blue Lock, or he's going to be someone who's like growing in the wings and we occasionally get to him, I'm not shocked. I assume we're going to be seeing him. It's like I assume we're going to be seeing a certain divine emperor. But no, we're losing my glorious, legendary, juicy, scrumbly, umptious, divine King Kaiser. No, man, and that's why I'll admit. As fine as I am with the Real Madrid trio being Say, Rin, and Kaiser, Oh, I was so hoping for Isagi to get a real bit, bro. I was so I get it. It feeds into the Rin and Isagi as eternal rivals narrative. It does good for the longevity of the story. Obviously, the thing is that, like, when are we gonna see them team up again? Was that really just a quarter? Really, we'll be generous. We'll say a third. Was that really like a third of the game thing, where we get to see two of the peak talented learners in the series? Really, arguably, at this point, unless you're going around, because I see a common theory going around that actually Noah is a talented learner as well. It isn't just Isagi and Kaiser, but Noah, since we know that you can like gain ambidextricity, it could be possible that thanks to his logical way of thinking and stuff like that, that he's actually meant to be a false genius, or he's meant to be another one of those examples of the line between genius and talented learner being really, really blurry, right? Like how I say Isagi, while definitely classified as a talented learner, is also not full of, but he has a genius-like tendency with a spatial awareness and a brain and thinking capacity that isn't gained through simply knowledge and experience, but like actual legendary spatial perception, which only he has. Same thing with someone like Kaiser. He's always been able to kick that good. Sure, he trained a whole lot when he was a kid, but like you don't one-shot and diff police officers with kicks. Unless you got a little bit of that genius gene in you. So ultimately, Noah could just be the apex of that, like the perfect fusion between a talented learner and a genius. And then, of course, he could just be a genius who uses logic. Like, logic is not mutually exclusive to talented learners. We have Rin as a big example. Then again, I also believe Rin is an example of blurring the line between the two. So ultimately, Noah knows role in the narrative is interesting. But man, I'm kind of sad that we may not see Kaiser and Isagi ever work together again, because why would we? They're gonna, like, unless the bid changes, like, say the U20 World Cup runs, and then he gets a bid from Real, or something like that, or Kaiser ends up coming back to BM, or something. Ultimately, I just genuinely don't know if we're ever gonna see these two work together again. The Real future was kind of the only one that I had in mind. And don't get me wrong, I do think Kaiser works better as an antagonist for Isagi, but, like, we're gonna get rid of Isagi working together. We're gonna get, likely, Isagi and Sei working together in the U20 itself. I wouldn't be shocked. We're probably gonna get naturally we're gonna get Baro and Isagi, Chigiri and Isagi, Bachira and Isagi, Kunigami and Isagi. Like, we're gonna get all those great dynamics already just by the laws of the universe. Like they're gonna be on the same team. But Kaiser and Isagi, it was such a cool thing, and it's a shame that it lasted for so little. Don't get me wrong, I still think personally that Kaiser's been the best and most pertinent rival for Isagi. I feel like he's also kind of the best written, but that's me and my heavy bias. And you can definitely argue that's a lot of recency bias. I haven't done a full reread of Blue Lock in a while. But still, it's a shame that we may not ever see them work together again. That hurts me. That hurts me only because I'm a Kaiser fan. I've seen a lot of Kaiser. Anyway, I don't blame you. If you don't like Kaiser, that makes sense. For the longest time I didn't like Baro, but I came around on Baro. Now there's not really a character in the manga that I like particularly dislike. Even Iyaguri, now that he's gone, has my the hatred in my heart has softened a bit. But with that being the case, I understand the Kaiser haters being happy that we'll probably never see them work together again. But man, I'm hoping, like, I know it'd probably be super contrived. I really want to see those two work together again, though. Like, that was my favorite part of PXG vs. BM. Seeing these two demons, these two fiends work together. That was it. Mainly because that's what the entire New Egoist League was building to. So, like, of course, the culmination of the entire New Egoist League is going to be my favorite part. But that doesn't change the fact that I want more. They barely did it. But we'll see. But let's see. Kaiser. Well, Kaiser, where else is he supposed to go? For now, y'all are still on the same team until you take that bid from Real. We'll see. Why the heck are you following me? And this is one of the other things, right? I kind of mentioned this during PXG vs. BM when he was trying to throw away Ness. Gang, Kior is not gonna be there. No, none of the midfielders you work with, right? None of them are gonna be there. You have to work. He's all you got, gang. He's all you got. So what do you mean? Why is he following you? You need him still. You need him. That's the thing. And like, and once again, I'm a big individuality guy. Do your own thing. Be your own thing. Be your own person. But at the same time, I acknowledge that we are humans. Social creatures. And I also, despite not having played soccer or football in years, I also know that football is a team sport. And Kaiser, you ain't Loki, gang. You ain't Chigiri yet. You cannot blitz down an entire field by yourself, despite being one of the fastest characters in the series. At least according to stats and like a lot of his feats. But still, you need that Nessie Wessie, bro. Don't play like you don't need that Nessie. Be happy that Nessie is following you around, bro. You need that. You're fiending for it. Because who else is gonna pass you? Grim? Eric? Let's see. Why the heck Are you following me? Like, oh, interesting though. He actually looks. He's not geeked. I'm not saying he's locked in, but he's not geeked. There is a difference. There is a difference between being geeked and locked in. I still don't know if I'm using those terms correctly. That's the thing that sucks about getting old. Before, I would hear like terminology once or twice in its context and be like, "Ha, I get it." As I've gotten older, I genuinely understand how people either my age or older get a little bit disconnected from like the younger generation. Because like I still don't fully understand what skibidi toilet means. Is it just meant to be nonsense? I have no like. Is it a reference to something? I think it is. I think it's a reference to something. But at the same time, every time I look it up, it just like references back to it's like an Ouroboros. I hear skibidi toilet. I think, what does that mean? I look it up, and it just takes me back to the phrase. I've never found like any information on that, and that's an example of just me like falling out of time. But I've heard geeked versus locked in. So like technically, whenever I'm recording, I'm geeked. Then when I open up a recording, I'm like, I'm locked in. So like I don't know. Let's see. Oh, he doesn't say a word back. All right, Kaiser. Let's see. That's enough. The me you believed in was an illusion. I'm trash. I mean, like, you're a bad person, Kaiser. I can't. And that's the one thing I always say. Because a friend of mine absolutely despises Kaiser. And they didn't watch my reviews for a while. But when the game ended, they were like, oh, let me just peek through some. And they heard me, admittedly, doing backflips and tricks on it. And they were like, Pencil, how on earth do you like Kaiser? And I was like, no, they not just how on earth do you like Kaiser? How on earth do you like Kaiser? He's such a terrible human being. And I'm like, I think, yeah, I agree. He's a really bad guy. He's not a good person at all. But I also, but what I did because he's a big fan of Mater. he's like your boy, and I was like, the reason I like Kaiser is the reason you like Mater. There are characters, there are underlying character motivations that completely override the terrible and inhumane things that they do. And he looked at me, and I looked at him, and he looked at me, and I looked at him, and he looked at me. That's the wrong way. He looked at me, and I looked at him, and he looked at me, and I looked at him. And he was like, okay, I kind of get it. But still, I don't like him. And I was like, and that's fine. Once again, I don't blame anybody for not liking Kaiser. I do feel bad for anyone who didn't end up liking Kaiser, though, because once again, Isagi and Kaiser was the main dynamic. Of course, you had the individual games which had their own Starlight characters, like, obviously, BM versus Barcho was Kunigami's game, BM versus Manshine was Yukimaya's game, BM versus Ubers was Hiyori's game, and I'll admit, in the grand scheme of things, I guess you could really say PXG versus BM was Kyora's game. And I think Ubers was also meant to be Raichi's game. Like he did something, but not too much. And same thing for Kiora, right? Like Kiora was like Raichi level, and ultimately I feel like PXG was Kaiser's game, funnily enough. Like it didn't actually feature a Blue Lock exclusive character. So like the whole narrative was centered around this guy. So if you didn't like him, you were kind of just stuck with that man for 150 chapters, which is really, really rough for anyone who didn't like him. But me, a Kaiser Creamer, a Michael Meat Muncher, I liked it. Let's see, I'm trash. And you're right. Let's see, we're broken. Get lost, stupid Ness. Okay, never mind. I thought maybe he was. I said he wasn't locked in, but maybe he is locked in. But you know what? It's a weird sense of character development, and it's not something to be praised. It's not like. I mean, I guess it's good for a bad person to realize they've been a bad person to somebody else and be like, "Go, stay away from me." But like, I'm not gonna praise someone who was mean to somebody for not being mean. I'd be like, "Finally, you fool!" But in this case, this is low key a little bit of character development for Kaiser, where he's like. He sees Ness following him. He can likely, once again, since he's a talented learner, he's logical, he's rational. He likely couldn't. He knows that ultimately Ness still is the best passer he has, like the best kind of passing option that he specifically has access to. He probably gets that, understands it, sees the vision. But even still, he's like, no, I'm a terrible person. Like I am a horrible dude. I lied to you. I manipulated you. I gaslit, gatekept, and girl bossed you, and I'm not even a girl. In this universe, I've seen a whole lot of femlock. I call it freak lock, but honestly, it's kind of tame, just in comparison to the main manga, because there's not an entire main manga of FL. Well, actually, would it be GL, girl love? Because I always see, yeah, we're reading BL, and it is accurate. We're reading Blue Lock, but it's also boy love. But so ironically enough, despite the designs of femlock being sometimes a little bit freaky, at least, well, never mind. They're actually, especially with Kainet. But with that being the case. I give Kaiser credit for essentially wanting to let the you know what it reminds me of? It reminds me of, I mean, minor spoilers for God of War Ragnarok, but there's a quest in that game where Mimir specifically is wanting to release a certain whale that he captured all those years ago to get the favor of Odin. And notably, he goes around with Kratos and I believe Freya at the time, and they go and they free the whale. But the whale's like, gang, I ain't moving. And of course, Mimir's like, Buckaroo, get gone. I freed you. And ultimately, Kratos explains, gang, you kept that chains on that thing for how long? How long? This is all it knows, bruh. It's immensely broken. It's attached to this location. It is not leaving, Gangaruni. You messed up. And that's kind of the same thing here with Ness, where, like, Kaiser wants to somewhat atone by at least letting Ness go, but Ness is like, no, Daddy Kaiser. I refuse to hop off tip. We'll see. No. I'll still be by your side. And this is... it's a necessary evil. It's a necessary evil. Because notably, admittedly, there are a couple things I did get wrong about PhD versus BM, right? I called the macro narrative a while ago, like, essentially as soon as I started reviewing, call the macro narrative. I forget how many reviews in, but essentially call the 4-game structure of the Egoist League. Bit for bit, ban for ban, bar for bar. That was your boy cooking. That was peak pencil cookage. But I did get certain things wrong. And one of the things I got wrong was Ness intentionally leaving Kaiser and doing his own thing, and then ending up passing to Isagi. I kind of got the idea that Ness would do it instinctually, like he wouldn't think about it, just because Isagi would be in a better spot than Kaiser, and then bada bing bada boom, he would pass, and then that would sort of be his freeing of himself. But notably, it ended up being that he was still serving Kaiser, just a more idealized version of Kaiser, which ended up being Isagi in that moment, who understood what Ness would think about. So, like, in a way I was right, but I don't really give I don't like tack points onto that one, mainly because I was under the impression that Ness was going to genuinely break free. Be like, hey gang, I actually am a human being with emotions and thoughts and feelings, and while I am slightly into all the freaky stuff you do to me, I ain't that into it. Dose it. But he's not ending up doing that. He's still sticking by his side. But ultimately, I call this a necessary evil because who else is Kaiser going to play with? We are not developing Grimm. We are not developing Eric. And no one else is relevant. So, like, what, we going to develop Birkenstock and Mensa? I'm still shocked I remember their names. And that's complete. I didn't even see them this chapter. But still, with it being the case, I guess we have to have it. It's unfortunate. I guess, unironically, I guess they're kind of going to be like a healthier Nagi Reo. Which is funny, because I don't think Nagi Reo is that healthy. I just don't think they'll be that healthy because of all the negative associations that they have with each other. But essentially, I view it as they're going to develop a much more balanced and even and more healthy relationship than what they had before, in order to compensate for Kaiser being, you know, a really bad dude. Like, he's still a terrible person. Like, I love Kaiser. Glazing, possibly my favorite character in the entire series next to Isagi, because I'll admit I'm a massive Isagi investor, a Yoichi Yucker, if you will. But and I'm still not the biggest fan of Ness choosing to chain himself. Like, I don't know, it's kind of it gives I can fix him energy. And, like, I hate that. Like, I don't know. Because I've had friends, and notably, not even just I can fix him, I can fix her. I've had friends, male and female, show me, like, not the scum of the earth. Because admittedly, there are times where I've been shown the scum of the earth. I'm like, okay, I'm not even going to bother dealing with the mental stress of this. Deuces, it's been nice knowing you. But, like, people who I know just, like, aren't the best for him, and I'm like, gang, you know you really shouldn't be engaging with this person. And they're like, yeah, I know, but, like, I can fix him. And they don't say it like that, because it's become so meme to that. They'll be like, don't worry, I'll improve them. I'll make them better. We'll be better together. And I'm like, yeah, okay. And notably, I'll admit, there's one solid time that it worked out. The two other times I'm thinking of it just fails. But with that being the case, you kind of got to let some people learn their lesson. To, like, am I lagging? Hold on. Okay, yeah, I am. Hold on, one sec. Hello. We're gonna get nice and close. Look into my eyes. Look into my eyes. Look into them. Yeah. 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 I'm sorry. You know, the funny thing is, I know some people do actually, like, watch the reviews, and I probably just gave them a heart attack. But I also know if people do put me on the background. So for those who have me on the background, they'll have no idea what that just was. But with it being the case, let's see. I don't think I'm liking it anymore. Okay, good. But yeah, I don't know. I'm not the biggest fan of stuff like this. Once again, it's why I wasn't the biggest fan of Nagi Reo. I get why people love it. I get why it's a popular ship. Obviously, like the narrative pushes it a lot. Like I'm not gonna be narratively blind and be like, oh, Nagi Reo. Like for those who ship Nagi Reo, it's not a crack ship. It's not a rare pair or anything like that. Like the narrative explicitly sets them up that way. So this is kind of the same case for Ness and Kaiser. But in both cases, like I just don't like it. But I think there's too much of like real world me kicking in. We're like, hey, I see the relationship style as unhealthy. Don't do it. And not even relationship as in like, actual romantic relationships, but even friendships. I don't think Nagi and Reo is kind of different, but at the same time, I still don't think you should glaze or rely on someone that much. Even my brother from another mother, a man who I do basically anything for because I've known him longer than I haven't known him. I don't rely on him that much. I don't glaze him that much. And he's one of the coolest guys I know. If not the coolest guy I know. That's not, I'm not directly related to. My dad's pretty epic. But like, that's the thing. I can't support it. But I guess these things gotta happen. Me too, Kaiser. Are you good in the head? I threw you away for the sake of victory, and yet I lost to Yoichi. I'm a piece of trash, humiliating the world with my existence. Stop clinging to filth like me! See, Kaiser, that's it. He's delicious. I'm eating it up. Hey, once again, I do agree, right? And notably, I'm not saying it's wrong or even necessary to eliminate all of your personal flaws. Not because I think it's kind of impossible. Like, there's no perfect person. But at the same time, I do respect this. The ability to recognize a flaw about yourself or recognize just an issue that you are. The issue that you are. And then see someone else trying to fall into that and be like, hey, no, stay back. I'm filth. I'm trash. I'm doodle garbage. Please back away. Because sometimes you do need to have a lot of introspection. I think ultimately you can be told a lot about yourself, but until you let those thoughts like breach into your conscious and then think about what you are and why you are and how you are and why you do things that you do in the way that you do them, I feel like you won't be able to develop as much. I know my biggest moments of like intrapersonal development. Ooh, and just like my own development as a person has come from me literally just sitting down one day and being like, yo, who am I? How am I? How am I perceived? How do I react? And trying to think of that. That's the blessing and admittedly the curse a little bit about having human intelligence. You can not only just acknowledge your own existence, but reflect on your existence. And ultimately, it is the reflection of your existence that can either send you skyward by realizing your own flaws and trying your best to fix them or at least work around them. Or even in some cases, I take some of my flaws, like my consistent desire to yap at all times, and I put it into something. Like, y'all think I content create for the sake of content create. I content create so I don't yap people's ears off in real life. I still yap people's ears off in real life. So like legitimately, this is an outlet for your boy. And that's why I be yapping. But at the same time, the reason I say you can go high, you can also go low. You can have those moments where you start going a little bit too far into yourself. And ultimately, like I obviously Kaiser's tweaking a bit here, but it's healthy in the sense that he's recognizing he's a bad person, but it's also clearly stressing him. And I don't think it's hard to say. If you're a really bad person, I guess, yes, treat yourself this way, but like, don't beat yourself up over things that are not pivotal. The world itself is going to play bully ball with you regardless. As long as you are a living creature in the world and you interact with other things, there will be things in life that you cannot control that will already bear down upon you. You kind of got to be your own biggest glazer. Even if you do have like extra people who also glaze you, you need to be your own biggest glazer. You got to be your own personal hype beast. And you got to be willing to work with what you got. Because we all got something. You got to be able to work with it. Let's see. No, I won't do as I'm told anymore. You're not a piece of trash. You're a flesh and blood human being. Oh, he's right. But Ness, he's still a bad guy. I do like that though, right? Because ultimately, and this is kind of the culmination to Kaiser's arc, right? He wants to be loved. Like that was the whole thing. Like if you remember his goal, the way that chapter ends off right before the goal itself goes in, it literally is Child Kaiser reaching out and wanting to be loved. He wants someone to connect with. And notably, that's what Ness always wanted. He wanted to be loved. He wanted to be acknowledged. He wanted to be praised for something that he exclusively could do and something he exclusively had the passion and talent for, which in this case ended up being soccer, not the science that his family went into. So both these characters who were isolated in their youth by their own family connecting through each other and their passion for soccer and their love for it, and along with their straight innate desire for love that only they can truly provide each other because of their shared background experience that I doubt the either even fully knows about. Like, I don't think Ness knows about Kaiser's history. I don't think Kaiser knows about Ness's history. Kaiser probably never bothered to ask, and Ness probably thought it was too personal. So these two characters who we get to look at from an higher dimension, we get to look down upon them in the world of the fiction. It does make sense that it works out this way, and it is thematically fitting for these characters. Kaiser realizing that he's a bad person, wanting to free Ness, and Ness realizing that Kaiser is a bad person, but ultimately he still is a person and someone capable of giving Ness what he wants, that connection, that love, and Kaiser presumably realizing that Ness can also be a person to give him that love. And once again, all this love, and you think I'm talking about BL, and I am talking about BL, but I also am talking about boy love. But you're a flesh and blood human being. Okay. But that's interesting. I do like the dynamic flip here. Essentially, and this is shown right at the end of the game, right? Ultimately, with Ness passing to the idealized version of Kaiser in his head, the idea that Ness will change how he plays with Kaiser. He's still going to be there. He's still going to be doing his big thing. But very specifically, he's not going to tailor his passes so they're easy for Kaiser impact. He's going to challenge Kaiser. Once again, it's kind of like what Hiyori mentioned back in Ubers. Ultimately, he's going to go with the best guy for the job. And that's why I'm so excited to see Hiyori working with Sei, specifically on the, well, once again, if Sei is going to join, but I assume Sei kind of has to join the Japan U20 team. But with that being the case, I'm excited to see Hiyori work together with Sei, because ultimately both of them are people, midfielders, who decide the flow of the game. They choose which striker they're going to pass to. Obviously, Sei chose Shido, and for now, even though Hiyori has never passed anyone else, but for now, Hiyori's chosen Isagi as the people they want to rise up. And now this is Ness not being chosen by Kaiser to act as a tool to support him, but it's Ness choosing Kaiser as a tool to support his own dream of being that person who creates those goals. And I do think that is good. Once again, it is not necessarily an inversion, but it is a good parallel story to someone like Hiyori and to someone like Sei. And considering they all are midfielders with extremely high levels of talent and skill and passing, I think it is appropriate that they go down the similar path, choosing a singular striker to raise up to the level of the highest solely for their own sakes. I like that. And ultimately, if the dynamic is healthier, if it's more balanced, which I presume it will be with Ness wanting to do something like this. Let's see, he literally says, "With my ego, I want to cast a spell on your broken self." Whoa! Wait a minute! Golly! Wait a second. What team is he with? I think it's Real. Gosh, yeah, that is Real. Oh, that's the thing, though. He's with Real. We're gonna get that trio. But Kaiser at full 100 million big fat pants. But all right. I like that. I can't say I like it because, once again, I can't fully separate like my own feelings on fixing people and working with someone who used in kind of ABUSEDU. I can't support that, even if it's meant to be healthier, quote unquote. I think there's a kind of weird narrative for Kanashiro Sensei to push all of it. I don't like it. That is strange. But then again, I think, unironically, you want to know why I think it'll work out in the end? Because it won't work out in the end. Kaiser's still going to lose. Kaiser's not going to win the U20 World Cup. Maybe, I hope not. And I don't think he's going to win the World Cup. He's going to be second fiddle to Isagi, who has healthy dynamics. And ultimately, that'll be the overall message. You can reconnect with people. You can change who you are. You can allow yourself to be used by others in order to make up for how you used others. But ultimately, that kind of connection that's based in this impure idealism is not to be rewarded. Kind of like how Nagi and Rayo's dynamic wasn't really rewarded at all. One of them got banished to the Shadow Realm. But let's see. Kaiser at 400 million. Interesting that Lorenzo, that's still very high value because for a defender, but he didn't even reach Kaiser's starting bid. Kaiser's starting bid was 300 mil. And Kaiser got a whole 80 mil boost. And was it just from the one goal? I know he ended one game. Was it Ubers or was it? I think it was Ubers. He ended with 320 mil, right? I think. At least that's the last one I remember Kaiser getting. So that's a massive boon. But then again, he did do very, very good this game. Like, defensively, offensively, all around. So I get Kaiser getting such a massive boost. But poor Lorenzo, man. 280 mil? That's rough. That's rough. Ness at 130 mil is very, very impressive, though. Because that's only below Baro, Shido, Rin, and Isagi, I think. I think he's above everybody else. Because I think the next highest bid is like 112 mil? No, wait. Shido, Baro, Rin, Isagi. I think that's it. So very impressive for Ness, too. Especially considering he kind of was... Like, let me think. He helps... That was a crazy ending goal. And he probably did get a lot of boost because he helped with the last goal of the new Egoist League. But realistically, how many goals did Ness really facilitate? At least, because we know he facilitated one Isagi goal. And he facilitated one Kaiser goal. All the way back in Barca. And then he kind of didn't do much. Like, he kind of does have the Nagi effect where he didn't do much. But at least he did get that final assist. But I don't think he didn't contribute any goals in Manshine. Because the contributors to those goals, it was... Who was it? It was Kunigami, who got a pass from Isagi when Kaiser blocked them. It was Kaiser, who got a pass from Isagi when he intercepted and stole that. And it was Isagi, once again, that's why Isagi went crazy during Manshine. He got that last pass to Yukimaya. And then Ubers, all Ness did was try to block Isagi and fail. Then the pass, it was Corona and Isagi that got the first goal. Then it was, I forget, was it Ness? Who fed Kaiser the ball for the upside down bicycle kick? It may have been Ness. I don't remember though. I remember he called out the foul for it, but then Kaiser scored anyway. So maybe that's another one. Maybe he has 3 assists, but still very, very high value. But of course, he came in relatively high value, of course, because he was still known as a very notorious. He was known as the magician beforehand. So like it's probably not a massive boost, but still very impressive. And Charles at 110 mil, honestly, kind of a low one, ain't it? Like, I know PXG lost the last game, but they won every other game, and I assume Charles was the main facilitator of that. But then again, we just don't have enough knowledge on PXG and its games to know, like, who assisted who. But I feel like Charles probably has a majority of the assists on that team, unless it was truly Zantetsu, Karasu. But then again, the B-listers of Blue Lock, they didn't really get much, at least from what I remember, in terms of their salaries. But still, very, very impressive, especially considering Charles is 15. And Augie out here with 80 mil. All right, solid enough for Augie. I hope I think he's still with Manshine. But still, all right, pretty solid. Let's see. Who was this? Ego? I'll assume it's Ego. I'm a scientist. Experiments what I do. Yes. 23 players who survived the Egoist League. Please have some rest in your stratums. Next itinerary will be tomorrow at 9 a.m. Please wear designated... Ooh! Well, they got that thing on. They got designated suits. Wait, where's my suit? In the closet. But wait, okay. They gonna have it on them? All right, and we're straight on the bus. And get on the shuttle bus. Okay, so they're headed to the parade, right? The chapter's called. So let's see who's sitting with who. Zantetsu and Shido. Shido's knocked out. Hiyori and Kurasu, I'm assuming, makes sense. Is that Isagi and Corona, or is that Nico and Corona? Maybe Nico and Corona. No. Yeah, that's Isagi and Corona. Shocking that Isagi doesn't sit next to Rin in the back, of course, Super Loner Man. Kind of a shock that Isagi doesn't meet up with Bachor, at least. You'd think they'd be bonding together, but that's Ryu and Nico. That's, this looks like Kunigami and Yukimaya. Reo and... Is that meant to be Corona? That may be Hiyori. Where's Hiyori? Then again, no, that's Hiyori. Who's this? Who am I missing? Oh, wait, no. This is Isagi. Who is... Oh, that's Kiora and Karasu. This is Nico and Ryu. This is Corona and Raichi. This is... Oh, so this is Shigiri. I can tell by the ponytail now. This is Gagamaru and Isagi. Very interesting duo here. Sendo and Aiku, if that makes sense. Boro and I think that's Fukaku, right? I think that's Fukaku. And then Sendo and... Who is this? Oh, Bachira. And then Rin. All right. Solid 23. Shoutouts to all the Nanase fans. Shoutouts to all y'all. Am I lagging again? Hold on. We're going to get freaky once more. Hold on. Let me just... Sorry, I had to eat the camera. It's the only way I can reset it. It's a sacrifice. Don't worry. I'm about to spit y'all back out. All right, we're back. We're back. Hopefully. Sorry, I've been yapping for so long because I've been going deep into the character stuff here. But it's the end of the new Egoist League, alright? Let me yap a little bit. Let me yap a little bit. Let's see. Huh, this might be my first time wearing such a fancy suit. Honestly, yeah. Because I'm trying to think. Anytime I've worn a suit, it's always been for like big events, but they're very rare. I like, even when I go to work, I don't really wear suits. I wear like jeans and polos. Like, I think the only time I've ever even worn a suit into work is like very specifically. No, not really. Now I think about it, I think like I think it may have been once or twice, and I've been working there for a while. Let's see. Oh, right? Is this necktie okay? Why am I making him Australian? A terrible Australian accent at that too. What was that? What was that? Me. I can't do cut. Well, golly gee, well, butter my behind and call it a biscuit, right? Is this necktie okay? I'm sorry. I'm sorry. I can't do soft Southern. I need to listen to more soft Southern speakers where like you can hear it, but you don't hear. Oh, God darn it! So bad. Let's see. No, I'll do it. See, and that's good. I would have to look up a video. I can tie my own tie, but I need to look at the video. I haven't tied a tie in a while because typically, whenever I have ties that I've pre-tied, and then I just loosen them a lot, take them off, and then prepare them for the next time I use them. In the way that works is you can even iron it after you tighten it a little bit, and then it's fine. I haven't tied a tie in a while. But then again, I just don't wear suits at all. Let's see. No, I'll do it. Yo, Borrow, why he got it on though? I ain't gonna lie. Borrow look clean in the suit. Hey, why are the windows dark? I can't see anything. Don't ask questions, Borrow. Just prepare to bust it wide open for all the world to see. Let's see. A millionaire. What does that even mean in this context? Yes, it's free. But what are y'all talking about? I'm so confused. Let's see. Just where are we going? I'm wondering too, Karasu. Let's see. A meeting with journalists, TV, a live stream. Actually, probably you may actually have all three. Let's see. My debut. But you know what? I don't blame Sendo. Like he honestly, Sendo is the realest guy here. He's like, obviously, he loves soccer. He cares for it a lot. He's passionate about it. But why am I still lagging? Am I lagging or am I just tweaking? I literally can't tell if I'm lagging or if I'm tweaking. I'm lagging. Why? And I think I can't. The thing is, I'm not lagging on my main camera. I'm lagging in OBS. But I'm telling you, it literally says my CPU is only at 0.6%. I'm going to have to eat y'all one more time, and then I'm just going to have to move it off screen or something, because I can't keep looking at it. Am I like? There, it's just a slice, but it's bothering me. It's bothering. Hello. Good to finally meet you. I'm sorry, I'm having way too much fun with the camera. But please, stop lagging. Let me cook. I just want to get this review done. Please. I still need to record 4 nights after this. Please. And I need to catch up on Gachikun. I'm like 5 chapters behind. Let's see. My debut. Are you? That is it. Yes, I can't believe it. Because, hey, I don't know. Being on TV always sounds cool. Let's see. Huh? Now I'm stressed. I don't really care. I don't know. I guess, notably, I'm a bad example. Like, people always ask me, hey, Pencil, why are you never afraid of public speaking? And I'm always like, especially now, where before it was like, oh, I just don't really care all too much. I don't think about it too hard. Now it's like, I have public spoken technically to like millions of people. Maybe not literal a million, but like, I genuinely don't know how many people have seen my face and heard my voice, and I just haven't cared. So like being on TV, it really don't bother me now, because I put myself out there willingly. Let's see. Does anybody have wax? Oh, so loud. No. Rin, of course. But I get it. Sometimes, especially like, whenever I'm in, I'm literally just like Rin and Gagamora. I be hitting the... So quick. Yeah, I don't know. Because I guess I'm always sleep prone whenever I'm traveling in group. Okay, I can't keep looking at it. I hope it doesn't show up in the video. I hope I'm just tweaking and I'm not lagging. And like, the camera itself is more accurate, and OBS is just slightly delayed. But I see, because it never looks this bad though. I just turned the computer on. The camera's fully charged. Like, I don't get it. Let's see. Look at Rayo thinking about his boyf. And Isagi, he's still reflecting though. But shouts to Gagamaro just chilling. Don't quit soccer. That's all I could say. I wonder What is Rayo thinking right now? We won't find out till episode Nagi, which is going to be like 10 years from now. Let's see. To be fair, I still can't get my mind around that. Nagi's gone. Yeah, baby. Yeah, baby. Hey, I'm, you know what? I'm really hoping he commits to the bit. He better not, like, sub out somebody or anything. Like, no, commit to the bit. Let Nagi be gone. And, like, you can even have him be gone. Like, a lot of, like, I'm agreeing with a lot of people where ultimately it would be a really good story point, a really good story beat where Nagi really is just done. Like, in spite of the little bit of ego he showed at the end of the last chapter in his eyes, the little flame, he's just finished. He's done. He's like, there's nothing else really motivate me. I don't really care. He can't even play for the Japan U20 team. He'd have to work super hard to do anything else. He's good. He doesn't have to try as hard anymore. It's a sad story, but it's a real story. It happened. And if Blue Lock really does want to cover all the different aspects of, like, the football world or even just the professional world in general, things like that, they do happen all the time. See, I'm not lagging on the jaw. I'm sorry if the video is lag for the people who do watch. I'm so sorry. One second. We've arrived. Oh. Wait, what does that say? I want to get off at the next stop. Shut up, I'll tell you. Let's see. Yay! Where are we? What are we doing? Huh? Right now, Blue Lock, for those 23 who survived the Egoist League, will hold a victory parade in Roppongi? Oh, Roppongi. I think that's how you say it, Roppongi. But alright, look at this. Look at this. Oh, that's adorable. You got the Rin and Isagi jerseys, 10 and 11. That's nice. Whoa, so many. We're stars? Seriously? But that's cool. I like that. I like that ultimately they are all, even though they didn't, like, they won like a play league, like it was a training arc for all intents and purposes. That's what the new English League was, but they had such strong impact around the world, and they're changing the world, right? Like Ego Plan, they are fundamentally changing the world of soccer, specifically in Japan, and I like that the world itself is reacting to that positively. They're excited, they're ready, they want to see Blue Lock, and Blue Lock can inspire this level of passion, this level of hope. And notably, I'll admit, I'm not much of a math guy. No, I'm kidding. I'm not much of like a sports team fanatic. I'm a different kind of fanatic. A different kind of fanatic. If you like I have my obsessions. I'm not gonna sit here and pretend that I don't. But I've never really been a guy who's like all for a team, buy a team, of a team, love a team, do anything for a team, backflip for a team, pay $100,000 for a jersey. Like I never really cared like that. But I do like that people do care like that, and people are willing to do that much and have that much passion for it. Because you know, I find passion beautiful. I think it's one of the things that makes us human, right? A deep admiration and love for something that isn't our own, that isn't like our own flesh and blood or ourselves. That is something that really humans, and only humans can, well, not, I mean, like, animals can love other things deeply and stuff like that, seemingly. But the conscious willingness and desire and passion is one of the most beautiful things about humanity in my mind. So even if I can't fully relate to it as a guy who's never really cared too much about sports and never really had like that deep team fanaticism, I do love that they were able to inspire this. It really goes to show. And then imagine when they actually do win. Oh, wait, so where's Raichi? I didn't even notice Raichi. Wait, where is Raichi? Oh, no, I said Raichi. Yeah, Raichi was next to Corona. But I love that they're able to inspire this. Yeah! Look at Raichi, just straight cheese it, bro. But again, I get it. Like that's cool. That is so cool, especially for kids their age, right? I'll tell you so. We love you. Ah, cute. Wanna hop in? No, that's not a good idea, idiot. Hey. Sometimes you gotta take chances. Hey, and you know what? Especially now that summer's coming out. At least where I'm from the States. Summer's coming out. I've now shifted my philosophy a whole different fashion than I used to have before. Man, if you are in public and not making anybody uncomfortable, I mentioned it before, I'll mention it again. Man, boom, shot after shot. Man, throw all the shots. And I'm lagging so hard, it's genuinely bothering me. What is going on? What is actually going on? What is... Are you like... Oh, you're not even warm. You're not even overheated. What is the problem? Why are you doing this to me? Hold on. Do I have to like douse you in water? That'll break you. What is wrong with you? You imbecile. What am I doing with these imbeciles? Miss Porter, I didn't mean to aim my double barrel at the teenage boy. He just happened to swing a key at me. It's not my fault. Let's see. Hopefully, please. There's not much chapter. Now I'm just getting mad. Now I just want to end the chapter so you'll stop lagging. Let's see. Oh, but yeah, always shoot your shot. If you're in public, you're not making anyone uncomfortable. I don't care. Male, female, do it. Do it. Worst I can say is no. In public. Make sure there are no cameras out, though. Make sure there are no cameras out. And don't be weird about it. Because then cameras could come out even midway through. Don't do that. Because if it's recorded, it's there forever. But, man, you miss every shot you don't take. So take some shots. Let's see. Oh my, such a big event. The influence of Blue Lock TV. Yukimaya. But then again, he's a model. I get it. He's used to stuff like this. This feels so good. I love y'all. Oh, my baby boy. I'm so happy that he'll actually get to be like a relevant character again. It's been so long since Bacha has been relevant. Like it honestly even feels like start of Neo Egoist League Bacha wasn't really relevant as a character. He was more so relevant as an obstacle to overcome in that moment. So I'm so happy we're gonna have him back as like an actual character that we can consistently interact with. The little cameos of him throughout the Neo Egoist League, they just weren't enough. Let's see. At least wave to them. Shut up. Hey, okay, Kunigami. Emo arc is over, bruh. Emo arc is over. We're done. It didn't go where anyone wanted it to, or some people were happy with the way Kunigami went, and I'm okay with the way Kunigami went. But like Kunigami, yeah, you're ready. Emo arc over, bruh. Let's see. I love how Rin and Shido. Wow, I'm actually shocked that Shido doesn't care that much. But I guess this doesn't bring him passion, right? It's not like Shido truly is a man who does it for the love of the game. All the accolades, all the praise, all the glaze, that doesn't matter to him. Same thing with Ren, right? And that's the thing. Those two characters are so similar, which is why it's so hilarious. And notably, it is kind of like that. The more and more similar you are to somebody, the more and more you may see their flaws, but not recognize those flaws in yourself, because you don't like those flaws, so you think, why would I have those flaws if I don't like them? But these two characters are so similar in how they approach the game, to the point where Sei recognizes them both as like viable candidates. I do like that animosity. I like how chill they are. Let's see. Hi, I'm Sendo. That's me. Follow my Insta. Follow my Insta. Link in the description down below. I try to post there because I completely forgot about this over a little bit, but I'm trying to post there consistently. I'm still drawing every day. Hi, meet my little silly Kingdom Hearts OC. His name's Reximus. I don't know what, like, for any of my Kingdom Hearts fans out there, if you could think of like a normal name without the X for Reximus, let me know. I'm just gonna throw it in like a random name here, right? I thought of the nobody name first. I didn't even think of what his like normal name would be. And worst comes to worst, I may not make him a nobody. I don't know. He was someone I drew completely by accident. I was initially meaning to draw the avatar, but I was like, wait a second. Kingdom Hearts on the mind. Might as well draw, because in Kingdom Hearts, there's not really people who punch. Like when you think about it, like, I mean, there's Hercules, but like, there's no like KH original character, especially not in the Organization 13 that like punches. I just gave him a guy brass knuckles. They control something. I don't know. I didn't think that far, but I just drew a KH character with brass knuckles and said Reximus. I didn't think about what his real name would be. But let's see. Calm down, you idiot. Hey, once again, I get the passion. I get the love of the game. Or not even the love of the game. Oh, this is adorable. I can't tell if this is Corona or Kiora, but all the flashing peace signs are like, we're goated. But we ain't that excited. Let's see. Amazing. Truly amazing. We were able to cause such an enthusiasm. Isagi! How that famous chanting audio goes at this point. But yeah, that's the thing. That is cool. That is cool. To be able to, and notably, I'm not the biggest content creator out there. I'm like, on either platform really, I'm like a nano here on YouTube, and I'm like a micro over on TikTok. It's crazy, because like, I don't know, I never thought I'd be above nothing. So, I never think about it, but like, whenever y'all tell me that I help you get through a rough time, or you look forward to my videos every day, and you enjoy, like, just even hearing people acknowledge something that you made and something that you did as something positive to them, it warms the heart, it warms the soul. It's why I tell people, hey, just make content, man. It just warms your heart, and it motivates you. Like that's what keeps me going, no matter what, no matter how things are doing. I'm like, man, the fact that I know someone out there will enjoy this, someone out there likes it, it does mean a lot. And of course, that's really small scale to Isagi, who's essentially lit up an entire nation. Look at this. All 11s, with the occasional different number in there, but a whole bunch of 11s. They are simply excited for him, by him, of him. Isagi has reached this many people. He's inspired this dream. Let's see. We were able to cause such an enthusiasm. This is sport. This is entertainment. This is the power of football. Yeah, and that's true. the ability of things, not just sports, but obviously we're talking about sports, but the ability of things to bring people together, to inspire people, it is beautiful. It is beautiful. Once again, humans are innately social creatures. We're going to be brought together no matter what. It's kind of just like law of nature stuff. But at the same time, knowing that and acknowledging that, while they are linked things, they are still different. It's easy to think and know, oh, hey, X, Y, and Z means ABC, you know? But actually seeing it and experiencing it like Isagi is now, yeah, it is revolutionary. It is truly. Let's say, wow, I feel so good. And so scared. Oh. One can become a hero with just a single blow and fall just as easily. Yeah, baby. Oh, I love the parallels to that. Yeah, there we go. And fall just as easily. A world of all the best and worst outcomes. Isagi! That's why I won't get... Yeah, but... And you know, it is kind of rough. And that's the thing, right? It gets to a point where not being satisfied does actively lead to, like, destructive tendencies. Like, a whole bunch of people who happen to be very high up are never satisfied. And that's why a lot of people beneath them suffer. That is kind of just how the world works. But it is a true case. And, like, don't get me wrong, I am satisfied in many aspects of my life. I'm always the kind of guy who will keep moving forward, who always look to the future. But I'm never going to forget about the past. I'm never going to, like, not look back. Because I think of how far I've come in so many different aspects of my life. From content creation, to monetarily, to education-wise, to professionally. Like, I have gone far. But I'm not done. Nowhere near. In any field, like, so far, there is no, outside of, even education. If the right conditions are met, I'd go back to school right now. But the right conditions aren't here, so I'm not doing it. But, like, there's not a single aspect of my life, physically, mentally, psychologically, emotionally, romantically, like, there's nothing I'm really currently, like, yeah, I'm satisfied, I'm done. I don't need anything else. No, I'm kind of still, I still want more. That never-ending desire and hunger for satisfaction. It's almost necessary in every aspect of life, if not just flat out necessary. So once you get complacent, once you give up, because that's the thing. Complacency and acceptance and being okay with who you are, that's not necessarily giving up. But you do stagnate. And I don't know. I always say I'll stagnate when I can't move anymore. Okay, once I'm dead. Let's see. I won't get satisfied until the moment I become the best in the world. And even then, I don't think that's enough. Because once you're the best in the world, everyone's going to be vying for that spot. Being number one means you do have to compete against yourself, but you still need to compete against the rest of the world who's coming for that top spot. Let's see. Until the moment I become the best in the world, I will go beyond this scenery. I won't go back to the world without football. Okay. Alright. Isagi declared his motivation. They're so gonna lose the U21 Cup. I don't know why my spider senses are tingling like that. But some tells me in my heart of hearts. It really here's the thing. It really depends if the U20 World Cup arc is the final arc of the series, which I feel like it just can't be. Unless we're really gonna off-screen the Noel Noah and, like, club arc and all that development, it cannot be the final arc. At the same time, I don't think they should win if it's not the final arc. But you know what? It could be good. I don't know. I'll think about it and make it like a whole separate video on whether or not Blue Lock should win the U20 World Cup. I could see them doing it. I could see them doing it. Because, like, the whole actual world stage, the real World Cup is what matters the most. The U20 World Cup is essentially a warm-up, so maybe they can still win it. Let's see. Go back to the world without football. Oh, look who we're back with. Tap. Just like Choki, I didn't change. I just came back to my ordinary life. I'm home. Interesting, but notably no fire. Unless that's meant to be a little bit of fire. No fire in his eyes. Nagi looks like he's truly done. 50 days. Whoa, 50 days! 50 days left of the U20 World. Okay, so I guess we're going to get one final miniature training arc before we actually get to the U20 World Cup. All right. Once again, I don't think it's a club arc, but... All right. 50 days left, so I wonder what they're going to be doing. Very, very intriguing. Very, very intriguing. But, as my camera still seems to lag just a little bit... Yeah, you know the chat is beautiful. I love it. Like I said, I have my critiques about some of the messaging and some of, like, the character interactions. Like, I still kind of don't. I'm just still not the biggest fan of this dynamic as, like, a dynamic. I really was hoping this guy would break free, but I get narratively I can't break free. Like, I get it and I do understand. Like, this is the case of where, like, The writing's fire. I just don't like it. I just don't agree with it as a person. And like I mentioned earlier with my friend who loves Madara, but now is only mostly indifferent to Kaiser and still kind of doesn't like him. Writing's fire. I just don't like it. That's kind of how I feel about this. And the idea of the expectations, the weight, the loss of Nagi, but the need to keep moving forward. And specifically, this idea of satisfaction. And not being satisfied until you reach your true dream. I think ultimately, Isagi still has one thing to learn. That even becoming the best in the world, being acknowledged as the best in the world, achieving that still isn't enough. He truly may turn into an Noel Noah. Someone who doesn't just want to be the best in the world, but someone who wants to keep evolving even beyond that. And that I'm excited for. But if you've made it all the way to the end of this video, please do me a favor and leave End of the World. Oddly dark, I know, but I don't know, it came to mind. Leave End of the World in the comment section down below. I did thank you so much for watching. Remember to leave a like, share, comment, and subscribe. Make sure that little notification bell so you don't miss out on any videos that come to the channel. Also, you can have a page down below where you support me for as one, get one. He thinks like exclusive videos, early content, and more. You also now become a member of the channel for as $3 a month to get the same perks and more. So those perks will include the live reactions, here are the series I have to review, and variations of all my videos. If you become a $2 Patreon or a $2 member, you can order whatever video you want. Also, leave a link to my Ko-Fi in the description down below, where you can drop 5 beats for a short video, 20 beats long video, or any beats at all. Any support is always greatly appreciated. Now, I'd like to thank you so much for watching once again, and I hope you guys have a wonderful day. This is That Guy with the Pencil, writing off. I'd like to give a thank you to our sketch tier members: Eternal Flame, Red Wolf 4765, Astro, Super Flame Zero, Glacier XZ, Zara, Brandon Payne, J2MA, Yomi, Yuki Ally, Buddha Uda, Azo 2404, Planet Crone, G Prosper, Nevis 97, and Ollie. I'd like to give a big old thank you to our line art tier patrons: Sean, Nirvana Igneal, Midnight Lord 21, Kevin Encarnacion, and A+A. And I'd like to give a big old thank you to our Ink tier members: Fine, Austin Wimberly, Euchia, Carlo Alaimo, and Grim. And then I'd like to give a big old hefty thank you to our digital art tier members: J Warrior and AZ Void. And then I'd like to give a big old thank you to our colored art tier patrons: Walkie Munoz and Walkie Munoz. And then I'd finally like to give a giga super duper kidney sacrificing thank you to our ultimate, that guy with a Calvin Elder.